Issues will always happen, but how do we handle these issues? How do we manage them? Each day, each new day, I discover something new that bothers couples in their relationships. Sometimes, when not well managed, might eventually result into the dissolution of this relationship. Some of these relationships are actually marriages, and when the situation gets really bad, some marriages get dissolved. We really don't want this happening, but life happens, and when life happens, everybody moves along. But to avoid life happening in this way, what can we possibly do? Here are a few tips. However, let's take a look at what today's topic would be. I am Adebayo Edepeji, and it is still the Love Laboratory. See you shortly. Have you ever thought about the time when your sex light dims? Well, just as this word entails, the light dims. It means the zest, the enthusiasm, the energy, the drive to have sexual intercourse with your partner diminishes. And when this happens, what has happened maybe on a regular basis, on impulse, becomes something that you have to debate, argue, plead, make efforts to make happen. There are quite a number of reasons why the sex light can dim or may dim. One of the reasons are usually the fact that the environmental situation, the conditions of work, everyday life, and all of those things put together diminishes the drive. Remember, the mind is also connected to your sexuality, and so your sex life, when you are in this chaotic situation, when things are not working according to plan, may actually bring about a drop in libido. Drop in libido now doesn't necessarily have to be for the guy alone. It could also be on the side of the lady. And when I say this, you are no longer interested. So you see, it can be a mental case. When you are no longer interested, no matter what happens, no matter what the efforts are, it's just not going to work. Yes, I know a lot of guys or ladies make efforts at helping themselves. Some resort to taking medications, fertility medications, aphrodisiacs, and all of those. But before we go to the medical aspect of things, I think we should actually try to identify, should we call it diagnosis? Well, we're not medical practitioners here, but we might want to look at it from that diagnostic angle. That why is this libido dropping? Why is this interest in our sexual relationship dropping? Why is this? Why is that? Well, one of the whys is the fact that for health reasons, there may be a drop in libido. And so under these circumstances, of course, you might have to consult a medical practitioner who would automatically either prescribe or advise on healthy living styles that might boost your libido or my health. You may also want to change your diet. You may want to change the pattern of eating. It's been discovered that when you overeat, the drive for sex is going to drop. Especially when it seems like you've just had a meal and then you're trying to, do. If you have a full stomach, you might have a challenge being able to attend to that need. Too much of drinking can also be a problem. When you slush more than necessary, you just find out that your nerves are not acting the way they should. And so too much of sloshing can actually have an adverse effect on your sex drive. Yes, it's been discovered that younger people are able to probably even perform magic, but then just look at that calendar. The biological calendar ticks better in those areas for younger people. But for the older guys who's probably been in a marriage, in a relationship for more than 10 years, of course add 10 years to when you started. So you might have yourself in a situation where the biological clock ticking away has actually changed your routine, your urge, your demands for these things. And so that's why the recommendation for the food therapy, for instance, may be of value. Now, I'm not talking as an expert in this space when it comes to food therapy and all. But really, if you consult a food, maybe a nutritionist, you are likely to get the right kind of food that's going to enhance your libido and eventually improve your sex life. A change of lifestyle, getting enough rest also is of great value. If you rest well, the general well-being improves. And so I would suggest that you take appropriate rest when your general body system is not at ease. The likelihood that you will be able to do your part when it comes to intimacy, sex, might be on a low. And so you need enough rest. Are you anxious? Sometimes anxiety can also cause that. If you are hoping on getting something done, it will be related to your job, it could be finances. When these things don't happen, it's likely that you start to have that mental challenges and you are unable to perform your duties as expected. But it's important that we just take note of the age factor. Age is a great player in all of this. But what then do you do when you find yourself in this situation? A lot of experts have suggested dynamism, trying something new, encouraging one another, especially when it is not a medical condition. What have you guys practiced? Because you must realize that over the years, your sex life will naturally dim because the vigor that you had many years ago, it's no longer there. You might even be interested in engaging in sexual activities with your partner, but because of that agility that has waned with time, it could be really difficult to achieve. So consulting with an expert in this area can help, especially sex therapists, because there are a number of touch points that a sex therapist can educate you on what to do, and you eventually find out that you can actually live your best sex life again. While this may not be the end to all of the options in taking care of this situation, understanding the fact that this has been a home breaker for ages, and it is just good for us to start to take action to see how we can remedy the situation, and so we can prevent the array of cheating experiences out there in the cases of broken hearts and all of that. And especially in this month of love, the Valentine month, I think we should reinvigorate ourselves, feed well, and have a better relationship. Do you have tips on what to do to make your relationship better, or to just advise somebody else, especially the sex part of things? Because it's a fundamental part, and when sex is lacking, you may be shocked that things are never going to be the same. Leave a comment, Kindly subscribe if you have not subscribed to this channel yet, and share so that somebody else may benefit. Don't forget to leave a comment. Wishing you the best of the month of love. See you next time.